And then guys, Viktor Gyökeres. Viktor Gyökeres remains a topic to watch in these hours because the agents of the player are still in London. Last night we had reports of the deal on the verge of collapsing. From what I'm told, the conversation is still ongoing between all parties involved, Arsenal, Sporting, agents, to sort the final point, the add-ons in the deal. 63.5 million euros, fixed fee. Now, the agent did everything possible because he's gonna reduce the commission. Arsenal also doing their best by paying more than what they expected. They initially expected 60 million euros plus 10 in add-ons. They are now at 63.5 plus 10 in add-ons. Now Sporting want even more. Sporting want the 10 million euros in add-ons to be very easy, almost guaranteed add-ons, while Arsenal want part of it to be quite easy and part of it to be quite difficult. So the conversation is continuing. The player keeps giving absolute priority to Arsenal. His 5-year contract at Arsenal is ready. Let's see, guys, because the negotiations are taking place every minute in London in these hours, so any minute can be crucial. Let's see how long it will take to find the final solution. For sure, the situation is tense. After Sporting is always requesting for more and more and more in the story, from the agent, from the player, from Arsenal. So once again, putting the deal in a situation when they need to negotiate and renegotiate and renegotiate. But Arsenal are still there. So let's follow the situation. Let's follow what happens. Gyökeres is waiting for Arsenal. At the moment, nothing has collapsed. Nothing is off. But for sure, the conversation continue in London to get to the here we go for Viktor Gyökeres to Arsenal.
And it doesn't end here, Gooners. Stay with me, because there's still one more explosive piece of news coming up. Eberechi Eze to Arsenal. Fabrizio Romano drops huge update. Arsenal fans, just when you thought this transfer window couldn't get any better, Eberechi Eze is back on the radar, and things are heating up. The Crystal Palace star has been one of the most electrifying players in the Premier League in recent years, and he's right at the top of Arsenal's wish list. And now, according to Fabrizio Romano, the Gunners are closer than ever to making their move. Here's what Fabrizio had to say on his YouTube channel. Contacts are still ongoing between Arsenal and Eze's agents. The club is absolutely working on this deal. He added that an official approach to Crystal Palace could come at any moment, especially now that Arsenal have wrapped up deals for Gyökeres and Mosquera. So what's the holdup? Crystal Palace are holding firm. They've been clear. Pay the £68 million release clause, or there's no deal. Arsenal, on the other hand, are hoping Palace might soften their stance later in the window and allow for some negotiation. For now, the ball is still in play, but momentum is definitely on the player's side. Eze wants the move. Arsenal want the player. The only question is how much they're willing to spend. What would signing Eze mean for Arsenal? Let's be real. This summer has already been Kepa, Zubimendi, Norgard, Gyökeres, Mosquera, Madueke incoming. But if Arsenal can land Eberechi Eze on top of all that, this becomes a 10 out of 10 transfer window. No debate. Eze brings something we don't currently have in the squad. A player who can glide past defenders, unlock low blocks from the left side, score absolute worldies from nothing. He's a creative spark, the kind that wins tight games, turns 1 point into 3, and makes the difference in a title race. If Arsenal pull this off, it won't just be a strong window, it'll be a Premier League winning window. The Gunners are already looking like serious contenders, but adding Eze could be the final touch of magic that tips the balance. So now we wait. Will Arsenal trigger the clause? Will Palace cave? One thing's for sure, this story isn't over, and it could explode at any moment. Arsenal frustrated over Gabriel Jesus. Here's why fans are worried. Big news coming out of Arsenal, and it's not what fans were hoping to hear. Gabriel Jesus, once seen as the answer to our striker problems, is now at the center of a frustrating situation behind the scenes at the Emirates. Let's rewind a bit. When Jesus arrived from Manchester City 3 years ago, he made an instant impact. His energy, movement, and sharp finishing had Arsenal fans dreaming big. It felt like the striker curse was finally broken. But everything changed during the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. A serious injury knocked him out. And since then, Jesus just hasn't looked like the same player. Fast forward to now, and the club had a plan. Sell Jesus this summer, free up wages, and possibly reinvest in a more reliable attacking option. But there's one massive problem. He's injured again, and this time, it's serious. The knee injury he suffered in the match against Manchester United required surgery, and the recovery has been long. So long, in fact, that Arsenal now believe they won't be able to move him on. Not this window, and maybe not even in January. According to BBC's Sammy Mockbull, there's clear disappointment inside the club. On the Latte Firm podcast, he revealed, "I do believe Arsenal thought they could sell Gabriel Jesus and get good money, but that's no longer on the table." And here's the key part. The earliest Arsenal might listen to offers for Jesus is next summer, a full year from now. So where does that leave us? Jesus is working hard behind the scenes. He's been posting gym sessions, rehab progress, and now for the first time in months, we've seen him back on the grass, even kicking a ball again. That's a great sign, but don't get your hopes up just yet. All signs point to Jesus missing the start of the season, and it's still unclear when he'll be match fit again. So now Arsenal are left in limbo, a top player, a big wage, and no clear future. What do you think, Gooners? Should the club give Jesus one more chance to prove himself? Or is it time to move on when the next opportunity comes? Let us know in the comments. Is this the end for Leandro Trossard at Arsenal? Shocking new twist. There's a big question looming over the Emirates right now. Has Leandro Trossard played his final games for Arsenal? After 2.5 solid years in North London, the Belgian winger's future is suddenly in serious doubt, and Stuart Robson believes his Arsenal career might be over. Let's break this down. Back in January 2023, Arsenal turned to Trossard after Chelsea swooped in and stole Mykhailo Mudryk at the last second. And honestly, that deal turned out to be a blessing in disguise. For just £20 million, Arsenal landed a versatile, experienced attacker, and Trossard delivered. He's chipped in with crucial goals, played across the front line, and some even say he's Arsenal's most clinical finisher. But now, everything could be about to change. Why? Because Mikel Arteta is making moves, and Noni Madueke is on the verge of signing. Speaking on ESPN FC, former Arsenal man Stuart Robson didn't hold back. "I think this is probably the end for Trossard on the left-hand side. With Madueke and Martinelli, there won't be space." According to Robson, Madueke may start as a challenge to Martinelli, but with Saka locked on the right, Madueke will likely be used on the left, right where Trossard has been operating. And that's not all. Trossard, now 30, is still highly rated across Europe. He's skillful, technical, and composed in front of goal. That's exactly why Bayern Munich are watching him closely. German reporter Christian Falk claims that if Bayern failed to land Luis Diaz from Liverpool, Trossard could become their priority target. That's no small interest. Meanwhile, Turkish media reports that Fenerbahce have already agreed terms with the Belgian. But let's be honest, if Bayern come calling, it's a no-brainer. So where does that leave Arsenal? With Madueke and possibly even Eberechi Eze joining, there's a strong case for cashing in now. Arsenal could get a decent fee and free up space for younger long-term options. But here's the twist. Trossard's still a top-tier player. Is it too soon to let him go? Or is this the right time to move on? Let us know what you think in the comments. Should Trossard stay and fight, or should Arsenal take the money while they can? And that wraps up today's biggest Arsenal news. If you enjoyed the update and want to stay on top of everything happening with the Gunners, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Come on, Arsenal!